What's up, pod pals? It's your buddy Adam from Podcasting Business School. It's the show where I teach you how to love your podcast like a hobby, but build it like a business. I've got my new pod pal, Dee Morrison, the host of Tea Over Interiors, in the house to do a podcast audit. Dee, how's it going today?
Oh, it's going well. Thank you so much for having me, Adam. I'm so excited.
Well, I always love connecting with people that are out there podcasting, trying to figure things out. We're talking, monetization, engagement, more downloads, all of the things. So what do you feel like would be a good place for us to start with your podcast audit here today?
So a good place, I think, to start would be growth.
Okay.
Right? Visibility, I guess. How do I get the visibility out there?
Yeah. So with the information that you filled out for me, it talked about how you're kind of you're the only one that's doing the marketing for your show, right? Like you're kind of in solo mode with that, and you're posting to social. So with growth, there is some low hanging fruit where you can get some extra action. Now, are you having guests on your show, or are these solo episodes?
So these episodes are just with myself and my partner, Alicia.
Okay.
So it's just the two of us having a conversation.
Okay. So I think like doing things like live casts, going on IG, especially since it's a very, interior, it's about interior design and decorating. Is that correct? Okay. So just making sure that I assumed that, but sometimes people's shows or something, and then their topic is something else. So I think with Instagram being so visual, like doing an IG live where maybe you actually have a project that you're working on or something that you're consulting on, and just kind of bringing people into your world to where they can actually see it, or doing something like that on YouTube where people are kind of getting pulled into your world. But maybe that's just a like that was one thing that you talked about on one episode. With social media, I'm always looking for a reason to refer back to the episode, and kind of like I set up a schedule of things that, like, there's a battle plan every week. So with Podcasting Business School, my episode goes live on Tuesday, and I know that morning I'm going to do a 6-image carousel post. All right. So with a multi-image post like that, that's like having like a whole bunch of fishing lines in the water in one pond, right? Because there's a better chance that your audience is actually going to see it. So I'll do like top 4 takeaways, an intro and an outro slide basically on that. Then that night I'll post a video of like a highlight clip. All right. So then on Wednesday, I'm going to post another image that promotes the episode. And then I'm going to do a live that night where I'll talk about something that has to do with that topic. All right. So like one little micro topic, we'll do a live Q&A on that on Instagram. Then on Thursday, I'm usually kicking out another highlight video. Thursday evening, I might do a reel but everything is referring back to the episode. So it's like these little mini segments that are always going, hey, and if you like this, and if you like more, make sure you check out episode 192 of Podcasting Business School. Enjoy it wherever you listen to audio. So I think a good initial step, since you're posting on social, just think about a regular flow on your main, like if it's Instagram and Pinterest or Instagram, Facebook, whatever, like have certain things always happen on certain days during the week, and you always create that reason to refer back to your episode. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think I listened to that on one of your episodes, and I think that's the reason why I started doing the audiograms, the carousels, and everything that I did. I tried to refer back to the episode and doing the marketing, and so it gets kind of hard because I'm busy and I'm not really great at the batching. I'm learning to do that, but to sit down and think of stuff, I can't think of it like right that second. Sometimes it hits me in the morning and that's when I do it. But I am working on a better schedule now. Good. So that I have these things in place and templates and things like that, and I can just drop them in.
Yeah, that's nice when you have like the Canva templates set up, and like all you have to do is just switch the words. Like that makes life a ton easier. And I mean, just think about like if you have show notes for your episode, and there are some key points that you talk about, each one of those could be a post. So that way you aren't scrambling like, what do I say? You just go a little bit deeper. You just highlight one of your show note key points, one of your key discussion points, one of your top takeaways, and maybe that's a reel. And the next one is a highlight video, and the next one is maybe all of them are carousel posts. That's what I do. But just that way you don't have to, you make the content once with your show, and then you're picking little pieces out of it to do your lives, your posts, your videos, the audiograms, all that. So I don't want you to get into the mindset of like, and now I've got to create more content for every post and a new unique thought, because only a certain percentage of our followers will actually see all of them, So that's, yeah, I'm always out there just, here's another one, here's another one, here's another one. So, and are you doing anything on Clubhouse at all?
No, I mean, I go into a few of the rooms, but I wanted to start a room for a podcast and about the episodes each week, but I don't want to host them alone. So it's kind of hard to get the schedule together with my partner. So we're working on that. Yeah. But I may have to host the rooms by myself.
Yeah. And then
Adam, you can come in and help me.
Heck yeah. I mean, I've got the Podcasting Business School Club. So I invite podcasters that want to start their own rooms. And as long as it kind of has something to do with podcasting, then, or you've got a show, then we can do that for sure.
Sounds good.
But getting people that are like-minded, or people that are in your space to just host the room with you. Like that's what I've done I just get podcasters to come in and we talk business, and it's just a kind of a genuine conversation, and it starts to kind of spiral from there. So that's something that I would look at. And then with Instagram, are you doing reels at all? Instagram reels?
Yes, okay. I've turned a few of my posts into reels.
Perfect. I think with any sort of content that's transformational, like with body, like weight loss transformations, it works really good. But also like if you're redoing a kitchen or redoing a piece of furniture or repainting a room, like a progression of here's a little 5-second clip of the before, the middle, the after, and then we kind of jazz it up with some text or some GIFs or whatever. I think that will go over with reels really well, and you'll get more pull from that. And then if you could always have some sort of a call to action, again, do an episode like, oh, we talk about this on episode blah, 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 how to remake your kitchen or whatever. So that's something to consider. Now, let's see here. Are you doing any paid advertising at all? Like podcast player ads, anything like that?
No, actually, you mentioned it somewhere. I don't know if it was Clubhouse or on your live, but I didn't want to do it until I listened to your talk about that, because I think you had a topic about that, right?
Yeah, I've got,
like which ones to use.
Yeah, I've got 2 episodes that I put in. Like I said, I curated some stuff for you. One episode talks about Overcast, which is a podcast player. And another one talks about Spotify. So I'll send you those 2 episodes to listen to. But being able to advertise to podcast listeners as they're listening to podcasts, and they're listening to podcasts that are in your genre or in a genre that could lead to them being interested in your topic, like that's on the money. Like that's where we find our subscribers. Like that's, if I go on Overcast and buy an ad for 30 days in the business category, when people are listening to business podcasts, my banner ad pops up and they go, oh, Podcasting Business School. Let's see what this is. They click on it and they track how many subscribers that you get, like subscribers, not just downloads, but people hit the subscribe button, which is awesome. And they have kind of a projected range. I think the business category right now is like 60 to 80 new subscribers with a 30-day ad run and things like that. So that's something to think about. I think with interior design, doing some sort of a monthly meetup for audience engagement, like I do with my PodPal Zoom party, which you need to come to. It's a great time.
I know. I wanted to know how do I get a part of this podcast? Because I listen to your podcast, and sometimes you have like the audience and stuff. And I'm like, where's that? I didn't see that anywhere. How do I get on that?
I'll make sure you know how to get there. You got the inside connection now, D. So I got your back on that. And if anybody's wondering, just go to the main website, podcastingbusiness.school. It's right there. All pod pals are invited. But I think you doing something like that would rock with your audience because it's going to build up engagement. But like you could even do you could do this for free, or you could do it for money, like almost like a boot camp style or a workshop style. Like we're going to talk about the kitchen or the bedroom or the bathroom or specific pieces of furniture or whatever. Like I don't 100% understand obviously what it is, like interior design. Like that's not my jam at all. So
Okay. I could always come over and help you, Adam.
If my ideas are just totally off base, just let me know. But like having those focus points, like I could see you doing a paid, like maybe you do a monthly meetup where people you get to teach and they get to ask you questions about what you're teaching on. But then you've got a paid one where it's that same topic, but they get to go, hey, I'm thinking about doing this or that. Maybe they've got a project they're working on. They can show you on their camera and you kind of provide advice or whatever. Or what would you do? What would Dee do if she was remaking, this kitchen or doing the upholstery on this sofa or whatever, like letting them interact with you in a smaller group that they're actually paying for. So I think something like that could work really well for you, but I would test it with that free monthly meetup where you're getting people together and you're like, all right, what are the pain points that I could help solve for these people? Why do they want to be there every month? Like, is there a giveaway? Is it the first 3 people get to ask you specific questions that you normally would charge people for or something like that? Like, what is that? I got to get there. I got to be first in line. I got to show up for Dee because she provides so much value on this. And then that's going to show off your ability. Like that's content for your show. You record that and you put it out like I do. And that's one less episode that you and your podcast partner have to do together. So that's cool. And it's just like natural content and it's fueled by the questions of your audience. So is that making sense so far?
That does make sense. Actually, because we're tea over interiors, we discuss like what tea we're drinking first. It's like, a 2-minute segment. We don't talk about tea for long, but we wanted to figure out a way to incorporate, like a monthly tea subscription or something, because Alicia makes delicious pound cakes and crescent cookies and stuff. She's a baker also, as well as an interior designer. So we were thinking of putting something together like that for our audience. Because people are always asking us, what tea did you say you had? Because that sounded good. I think I want to try that. So, and that's only one segment of our podcast. And then I get, feedback on the rest of the podcast. But, it's like the tea's kind of like, what tea did you say you were drinking? So.
Well, it brings people into your world, Dee. And that's the cool thing. It's like, they're like, oh, I'm not just listening to what you ladies are saying. Like we're pulled into your world a little bit. They're sipping on the tea. That's my favorite tea too. That's awesome. Now, here's what I would do. Mm-hmm. I would do a once per month meetup, tea party, whatever you call it. And I love you bring them together. But I would get tea companies to sponsor it and give you free samples that could be part of the irresistible reason why people will show up, because you're going to send them. Like I wouldn't have them, like, you get a tea company and you get some sort of like, hey, we're going to do a monthly tea party and we talk about interior design. We would love for you to be our monthly, our tea of the month sponsor. And we're going to give away, 5-10 packs of their tea or 5 boxes of their tea. And you just do a random drawing where, like what I've done in the past, okay, we're on Zoom, everybody take a screenshot with your phone, share it on Instagram stories right now and tag us. And we're going to spin a wheel or do a random selection thing. And we're going to pick numbers based off of who posts what when to give away the tea, do the tea drawing. And then the company will direct ship it. So you don't have to ship anything or pay for shipping. And that plants the seeds for potential sponsorship down the road. if one company gets a lot of like, oh, a lot of people are buying my tea with, and you guys get an affiliate code for sure for them. And like that way, if somebody's like, oh, I didn't win, but I still want to buy the tea, there's a discount code. You guys get a kickback. And this is just like an out of left field monetization source for tea for an interior design company. Like that's awesome. So that's a really great and creative way to pull that in, because a lot of like interior design are thinking like, my sponsors would be like fabric companies or, things like that. But bringing in a tea company and working it in, I think that's brilliant. So I would pull that into the whole discussion, and that way you're doing a giveaway, and that's people will show up for that for sure. And then, you have a little, you guys have a discussion. There's some Q&A. I like having it so that everybody has an opportunity to say something, or maybe you're working on a project and everybody gets to put their input in there. This is what I would do, or this is, which color do you like? Which fabric do you like? What, what's working for you guys? And everybody gets to chime in a little bit. You put that out as an episode, but then you want to think next steps. Like how are the right people from this conversation moving into like a client, a paying client position? Does that make sense? Okay. So now you guys obviously do paid interior design, right? Like that's what you get paid for.
Yes.
Right. So like you could do that, or like, I think within your space, having like a VIP day, where with a VIP day, usually that's going to be like 4 to 8 hours one day, 4 to 8 hours virtual, ideally. So anybody anywhere could do it. And you just take your hourly rate and you multiply it over however much time you are with these people. And depending on what you're delivering on, sometimes it's even a little bit higher. Like there's a higher hourly rate because of the continuation. Like you know how it is. If you work with somebody for an hour, you can get through so much. If you've got 3 or 4 hours with them, there's that momentum, and it's so much more efficient. You get so much more done per hour, because it's not start, stop, let's talk next week. It's like, we're getting the whole project done today, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to happen today. So whether it's like a room makeover or whatever, and then maybe you've got a super high ticket where they're like, I need you here in person. We're going to fly you in. They pay for that. And then it's like, you're there for half a day on site doing whatever that you do. And that's way high ticket, because that's something that takes a lot of time, because there's travel expense and all that stuff. So any thoughts around that as far as monetization method?
That part sounds like fun. We also do window treatment and custom window treatments. We have a few services. We do staging, interior design, and we do window treatments. So, I did not think about how we would monetize our business model. I just thought about like, okay, it's a podcast. People will learn from us from the podcast. And then, we'll have like a tea sponsor or some health sponsor, because our approach to interior design is more on a holistic level. It's not so much push product. It's more so be relaxed at home, love your home, declutter your home, feel the freeness of what it's like to walk into your home and feel welcomed, and not feel like, oh, I have this project, I have this, I have that. Not so much worrying about maintenance, learning how to create systems so that you live a more balanced, happier life at home, and just doing different things to enhance your life at home. So that's why we wouldn't want sponsors like fabric companies and things like that to push products on people that they may not need. But when it comes to things you ingest and like make your body better, that's also what helps you live a better life at home, right?
Yeah.
You want to be healthy while you live at home, right?
Yeah.
And you want to be able to enjoy life's little luxuries, You may need an upgrade on your bathroom, which is fine. That happens. But it's not this constant, just purchase this and this trend and that trend. We're not those type of designers. Yeah. We're okay with you have nice things. We can help you trim down your nice things and figure out what you should keep, what you should get away, and how to make your space more efficient with what you have, and then letting you know what you need to add. I think that that is very important as a designer to help people figure those types of things out. So that's pretty much what we do. And so when I was thinking about monetization, I didn't really think about those things, but when you mentioned it, now I'm like, oh, now I have all these other ideas of things we can do. We wanted to have an episode where on Zoom we worked with someone for like an hour to, I don't know, make over like a small room, a guest room, or something easy that we can do within an hour.
Yeah.
So, but I like your suggestions a lot.
Yeah. I just think, well, thank you. And I like your ideas. I like your vibe of your show. I always think about listener / potential client journey. So they listen to your show. They hear one of these community episodes like, oh, I got to show up for this, the tea party. I got to be there. And you have some engagement there. Minimalism and decluttering are huge right now. Like that, those are very search engine friendly terms. Those are hot terms. I'm all in on like, I don't talk about this a lot on this show, but like I own less than 80 items of clothes. I'm always wearing 10% of my total clothing because I live a minimalist lifestyle. Like that helps me live in a less decision fatigued life. So I almost think like if you did some episodes where you're kind of talking about decluttering a little bit, and then you go, hey, and this month we're actually, in our tea party, we're going to talk about decluttering. We're going to do a decluttering discussion. You kind of lead it down that path. And then you could sell a 1 hour decluttering, like we're going to declutter your garage, the bedroom, even like that targeted focused, where we're going to do a 1 hour session at this rate. I feel like that would make sense. They listen to your show, they come on the community chat, they experience that, they get value, and they go, yeah, I want to have Dee come in and help me declutter my garage. She's got me all fired up. Like you give them initial steps, and then some of them are like, yeah, but I kind of want her just to do it for me or to help me do it, done with you, sort of a service. I think you'd have a lot of takers. So I think that's something to definitely work through and consider.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. We'll definitely do that. Yeah.
All right. Cool. And I got lots of other notes and ideas that I'll send you here, but our time is running short, Dee. So I want to make sure that people get to plug into your world. Like, where do they go if they want to plug in and listen to your show? Check out an upcoming tea party. How do people get plugged into your world, Dee?
So we have a new website. It's www.TEAOVERinteriors.com. And we will start to post these parties once we set them up. But you can go there, subscribe to our email list, or you can go to truesdelmorrison.com. That's our regular website. And you can sign up for our email list. And we will send out the newsletters letting you know everything going on in our world. And you can also reach out to us if you have questions or if you want to set an appointment that way as well.
Outstanding. All right, Pod Pals, go and check out Dee and what she's got going on. I'm excited. I'm excited for you to try this out, Dee. I think we got some solid ideas to work around here. And I appreciate you coming on the show today.
Thank you so much for having me, Adam. As always, it's great talking to you.
All right, everybody. I think we got some awesome ideas. Hopefully you had a few ideas spark up in your brain piece today. And if you want to do a podcast audit just like Dee, head on over to the main website. You can also sign up for the Pod Pal Zoom party right there too. www.podcastingbusiness.school. And as always, I'll send you out into the world wishing you health, happiness, and many downloads. See you on the next episode.